Yo guys, Crescent here. Welcome to my new stamina DK build video. This is not your conventional build video. I'm gonna do another, I would say, more traditional build later. But that build is a totally different build, which requires you to get some penetration sets. It's a totally different build. This is a fun build. It's a as you can see, the title of the name is PureSkill, because you need a lot of skill to play this build, and it's gonna be super fun. Okay, let's hop straight into the sets. The first proc set, the first skill set we'll be using is the thermal skill set. So basically, this set, when you taunt your enemy, you have a 50% chance to summon a Dune Ripper, and will do 7.5k damage. So the skill you need to use for this set is obviously your Pierce armor, and then or the other morph, which is, what is the other morph called, Ransack or Pierce armor. You can use these two skills, and then you can apply the thermal skill on your enemy. 50% chance to apply it, so it's very often. What you want to use is, you want to use either 2 heavy or 1 medium, 1 heavy, like I have now. I think 2 heavy is slightly better because we are really squishy in this build, in this setup. So this setup is not really a 1vx setup. It's just a really fun build to play in battlegrounds or to play with friends, because you can't really 1vx with this build. You don't have blood spawn, you don't have good recovery, you don't have good sustain, and yeah, overall your healing is not that high as well, because you don't have really high weapon damage. So I would say this build is just to play around and just for fun, you know. So okay, 1 tri-stack glyph, 2 tri-stack glyph on the head and shoulders, 1 heavy, 1 medium, and both impenetrable. So this is the first skill set we'll be using. The second skill set we'll be using is the Widowmaker. So Widowmaker complement this set really well, because thermal skill has a, when you apply thermal skill on your enemy, you snare them by 70% for 3 seconds. So as you know, Widowmaker set is a set that when you apply poison, the poison on your enemy, you proc this ball on the ground, which deals about 10k damage more or less, and it's only 5 meters range. This ball will do damage to the enemy surrounded, only by 5 meters. So with the snare, it helps with the helps you to snare your enemy, basically, so your enemy won't run away from the ball. Or what I would like to use is, because you need to proc a poison, so you can use poisons that immobilize your enemy. So the moment the poison proc, the ball is summoned and you immobilize your enemy by, for example, for this poison it's 2.4 seconds. So yeah, usually they won't react in time, because it's so hard to react in time suddenly. Like after 1 second you will receive the damage from this Widowmaker set. So I would say this poison is one of the best poisons for this build. So we will be using the Sword and Bond Widowmaker set, sharpen on the I got a dagger here. You can use axe, you can use sword, it doesn't really matter, or even Mao, it doesn't really matter, because it's one Sword and Bond. So I'm using sharpen because we have a lot of skill sets around, so we don't need high weapon damage. All we need is penetration. And you be using 1 impenetrable shield. You can use sturdy. I think sturdy is slightly better in non-CP campaign, up to you. Yeah, with maximum stamina enchantment. And we will be using Widowmaker belt, and 1 Widowmaker boots, and 1 Widowmaker necklace. It doesn't really matter, you can mix it around all around, because you just need 5 pieces on the sword and board bar. So on the Widowmaker boots, I'm using tri-stack glyph. On the belt, I'm using maximum stamina enchantment, and both impenetrable, with the necklace robust and cost reduction, stamina cost reduction. And the third, the fourth skill set now, no wait, the third, 1, 2, 3, the third now is the Poisonous Serpent set. I think you can farm this set from, if I'm not mistaken, it's from ESO, I think. Sanctum of Vidian, I think it's from that dungeon. So yeah, the downside of this set, it doesn't drop in impen, so you need to change the traits to impen. But I have sturdy. It's not the worst trait, but I wouldn't use sturdy in my opinion. I would use impen for sure. I think impen is way better. Unless you're in non-CP campaign, then sturdy is actually quite good. Okay, so I have sturdy trait here on the body. Preferably you want impen with tri-stack glyph, and then I have the hands sturdy as well. You want to use tri-stack glyph as well, so you want to boost up your HP, because my HP is really low on this build. Because all the sets we have is all with stamina. You can see 2 times stamina, bonuses, another stamina bonus, and then Widowmaker is another stamina bonus. So we have high stamina on this build but low HP. That's why we need a lot of tri-stat lift. And on the legs, obviously we need tri-stat enchantment as well with impenetrate. So this set is a really interesting set because when you it's really good for DK because you can apply a lot of poison skills. So when you apply a poison skill on your enemy, when you do light attack or heavy attack against them, you have 50% chance to proc this 4.5k damage. Not a lot, but it's a decent amount. Okay, not proc. Yeah, I kind of skill. You can use this skill on your enemy. So yeah, it's pure skill. There's no proc set in this build, man. It's all pure skill. Okay, so you apply this 4.5k damage on your enemy. There's basically no cooldown because you can proc this every 1 second. So there's an interval between your light attacks, which is about 1.5 seconds or more or less, 1 second or so. So basically there's no cooldown. So now to the fourth skill set, which is our fourth damage applying set we can use to your enemy, is basically this Maelstrom Greatsword. Just do crit damage. When you use crit charge, you do 7k extra damage to your enemy, which is actually quite decent. Not a lot, but it can crit. So this is actually quite sweet. So we have here all our sets. Options you can use. Yeah, you can change it around. Nothing is fixed. You can use Bloodspawn if you want. You can use anything else if you want. But this is the build I have in mind because everything is just synergized with each other really nicely. You have the snare to help with the Widowmaker. You have extra burst from the Ophidian set, Poisonous Serpent set, and then you have your extra snares again from your gap close, and you can apply another dot on your enemy with this gap close as well. So it's really sweet. Just remember you need to use Sharpen on this build. I have Sharpen and Disease Damage enchantment on the sword, and on this dagger here I have a Sharpen trait as well. Okay, you can use, what do you call that, if you don't like this Maelstrom set, you can obviously use Asylum Sword as well. Asylum Sword is not that bad as well, I think. Asylum Greatsword is decent as well. Or you can use the new sword from Black Rose Dungeon, which is pretty good as well because it gives you penetration. So I think that sword is actually pretty good. But you need the sharpened one. The sharpened Black Rose Arena sword is actually quite sweet. But other than that, you can just use like what I use here, Greatsword. It's overall really good. You can use Axe if you want. You can use Mao if you want. It's all up to you. There's no restrictions on this build. It's a really fun build. Yeah, and we'll be using 2-piece necklace. I forgot to mention 2-piece necklace of Poisonous Serpent set. So we have everything is robust here, and then the typical 1 stamina recovery, 1 cost reduction, and 1 weapon damage. Okay, and yeah, I'm using it on the body, hands, and legs. So we have 5-piece. And then on the back bar we have Widowmaker, front bar Maelstrom, and 2-piece Monster Helm Thermal Skill. I will show you the tooltip. No, not the stat sheet of this build. The tooltip of the skills are obviously pretty low because we have too many skill sets on this build, so you won't have really high stats. But overall the stats is, I would say, decent. It's not the best, not the worst, but decent. Alright, so let me use a potion. We have stam recovery 1.6k, max magical 1.2k, 12k, sorry. Health is about 14 to 14k, I would say, in Citadel, 14k more or less. Maximum stamina is 38k, which is pretty sweet. Weapon damage is pretty low in my opinion. It's only 2.5k or so. Crit is very high, 45%. Resistance should be around close to 20k, yeah, 20k, and then spell resistance is 23k. Crit resistance can go even higher. I have 2-piece impen, so it would be around 500, so 2.8, 2.9k or so crit resistance. Our penetration is extremely high. You can see here it's 7k. So 7k you need to add on another 5.2k. So it's about 13k penetration. And we'll be using the Lover Mundus stone, so it gives you even more penetration. and we are using the Atrium Takeaway Broth just to maximize our stats a bit more. For the, you can obviously use Dubious if you want. If you are cheapskate, you can use Dubious, because Atrium Takeaway Broth is about 3k or so, Dubious is about, I don't know, 60 gold only. The potions we'll be using, in non-CP campaign you can use Lingering Health and Speed potion. Speed gives you health dot healing, which is good. I use Invincible potion in Cyrodiil as well quite often. The main potion you want to use is this knockback potion with major expedition and stamina recovery, or there is another version which gives you no major expedition but crit, which is pretty good as well, because sometimes you don't want to use Flames of Oblivion, you want to use especially in Cyrodiil, I think Reflective Plate is way too important. So because you can de-snare yourself and de-root yourself, and then you can reflect a lot of skills, especially there's so many snipers in Cyrodiil, so you want to use Reflective Plate. As for the poisons, there are 3 poisons that I'll be switching around a lot. The first one is the double health poison, double dot poison. So this one will just do a lot of damage on your enemy, pressure them a lot. The second poison we'll be using is the one I mentioned earlier, the Escapist poison. So you can root your enemy for 2.4 seconds. You won't get CC. You have CC immune in this duration, so you can apply a lot of damage on your enemy, and it deals a small dot on your enemy as well for 2.4 seconds. 1.7k dot, heals you as well. Pretty sweet poison. The third poison we'll be using is another Escapist poison, different version. This one is more for non-CB campaign, I would say. It gives you immobilize your enemy, and then it drains your stamina from your enemy. So basically just gives you about 470 stamina recovery per second for 3.5 seconds, which is pretty sweet. So those are the poisons that I'll be using. And yeah, the potions I mentioned, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, there's a detection potion sometimes you want to use against Night Blades. Give you major savagery, which is your crit, and gives you stealth detection. Okay, so those are the stat sheet and the potions. What else? I think yeah, we are done with those. We can go to the skills now. The skills are pretty straightforward. We are using Reverse Slice, Venomous Claw, Stampede. You can drop Stampede if you want, but if you drop Stampede, you don't want to use a Maelstrom Greatsword, you want to use Asalium or something else, or even something like Agility will work pretty good as well. But I have Maelstrom, so I'm using a Gap Closer, Stampede. And if you're not using Stampede, I can recommend you to use maybe something like Noxious Breath, which is pretty decent as well. Okay, Volatile Armor, Forward Momentum, Take Flight. So these skills are pretty much fixed, more or less. And on the back bar, we'll be using Pierce Armor to apply our Thermal Skill set. Reverb Bash, CC your enemy, apply Major Defile, Flames of Oblivion, or you can slot Wings, optional. Usually those 2 skills I'll be using on this bar. And then Fragmented Shield gives you Major Mending, Resolving Vigor, and Spell Wall, your defensive ultimate. So those are the skills. Now I show you how this build function. Okay, so basically, like usually when you buff up, you get close in, light attack, put a dot on your enemy. Why you want to put the dot here, this dot, is because the moment after you apply a Venomous Claw, your Poisonous Serpent set will be activated. So every light attack you will do on your enemy, you have a 50% chance to do 4.6k damage. You can see I apply this dot, I do light attack. Okay, not this set. You can see a green, yeah. This green effect on your enemy is actually the proccing of that set. So yeah, that's why it's really important. You want to get close first, so you apply a dot on your enemy, apply your second dot, switch to your back bar, light attack, and then light attack into Pierce Armor. So you have a chance to apply your poison, which enables Widowmaker to proc, and then you have your Thermal Skill set as well from your Pierce Armor, so everything will proc all together. That is the theory, I would say the I would say the theory crafted part of this build, so everything will come together instantly. So especially in non-CB campaign, if your enemy doesn't have good defenses or their healing is really low, you can just apply a lot of pressure on them. So like that, light attack into light attack pierce into, you can do a bash if you want, if you have stamina, then you go into CC. The moment you CC them, right, as you can see, when everything proc, you CC them, so you stun them while the stuff hit on them, and they are rooted as well because of the point. Okay, I'm not using a poison, but if I'm using this poison, they are rooted as well. They are rooted, they are CC, and everything will come together and hit them. Obviously, you know that proc sets is pretty weak now, in my opinion, in this patch, because they got nerfed a lot, which is deservedly, I would say, which is a good nerf, but you still can make it work, especially in non-CP campaign. In CP campaign, I wouldn't say it's that good anymore, but in non-CP campaign, it's still really nice. So you want to just apply this, make sure you always have a poison damage skill on enemy. Then you want to rotate your skill. When you see the green balls ready, just go and CC your enemy, or you can just go into deep. So that is usually what I will do. Okay, so that is for the rotation. Now to the CP. Yeah, there's a small changes for the CP as well, since we are using a lot of skill sets, so you need more penetration. 15 Siphoner, 51 Warlord, the basic bashing 6 points, 43 Mooncalf, 27 Tenacity, 33 Befile, 51 Tumbling, 44 Shadow Ward, 37 Bless, and then here we have 6 Physical Weapon Expert, 13 Shattering Blows, 72 Master at Arms, 11 Thermal Church, 51 Precise Strikes, and 31 into Piercing, so we have quite a lot of points into Piercing. 49 Mighty. Actually, you know what? You can take more Thermal Church and put into Piercing. I think that would be even better, because I don't think we have too many dots, but I just want this 5% usually. So it's a good scale. It scales really well, because for 11 points you get 5%, which is a lot in my opinion. Okay, you have 66 Ironclad, 32 Resistance, 37 Thick Skin, 49 Hardy, 43 Elemental Defender. Like usual, if you play a DK, you want to put less into Elemental Defender, because inherently you have a passive which gives you more magic resistance, so you want more into Hardy. 6 Expert Defender, 37 Quick Recovery. So that's it for the CP, and yeah, that's it for the build. I know this is a non-conventional DK build, not a lot of people is willing to find the time to farm these sets and everything, but it's just a fun build for you. And there's a tip I can give you to farm these sets. You want to run into normal dungeon. If you're farming Widowmaker, you can obtain these sets really easily. And if you're farming the Sanctum, you want to preferably go for normal as well. I got the gold rings because I did it in veteran, but yeah, it's not a big deal. The gold and purple, it's more or less the same. Okay, yeah, that's it for this build video. Hope you enjoyed. I won't be posting a lot of gameplay for this build, because I won't be using this build often. I'll mainly be using this build like maybe in Battlegrounds just for fun, for the lols, but I'm currently theory crafting a new build for DK that is a more, I would say, a solid build for 1vx, and this build will be just my fun build just to throw around. Okay, that's it for this video. Make sure you throw this video a like if you like what you see, and make sure to subscribe for more ESO videos, and I'll see you guys in the video. Okay, bye bye.